a better storyteller. You can't go home and do that. You can get slightly better, but your DNA is your DNA. But everybody here can go home and work 1 more hour and work 2 more hours. It's just real. The reason I push it, and by the way, the whole immigrants do well, it's because that's what they do. They just don't do anything else. When you come with nothing and you live in crap, you just work every goddamn minute. And then all of a sudden, 13 years later, something good happens. And I just genuinely want that for people to understand. Look yourself in the mirror in your hotel room tonight and say, are you putting in the work that supports the words that are coming out of your mouth? My buddies always tell me, I'm gonna be a millionaire. I'm like, you're on 6 softball teams, John. Is your work ethic mapping the bullcrap that's coming out of your mouth? Because you talk a good game. You all talk about what you're gonna do, but then the work doesn't support it. And so the work ethic is the #1 variable. Because guess what happens when you actually work 3 or 4 or 5 more hours a day? Because you can still sleep your 6, 7 hours. You can still find an hour or 2 with your family. You can still have a 9-to-5 job and still have plenty of hours to work. Guess what happens? You watch the 1-hour YouTube video of how to place a Facebook ad. You place the Facebook ads. You look at the data. You realize what's working and not working. You find your moment. You find your segment. You find your picture and video. And you start doing business. You know what else happens when you deploy 5 or 6 more hours a day at work? You reply to all the people that say nice things about you on your Instagram account. You put in the work. You know what else happens when you work 5 or 6 more hours a day? You start making social media posts that look like this, which were very successful for me. Post your phone number. I'm gonna call you and give you value. And then you spend 5 hours talking to the people that decided to follow you. And through an 18-minute conversation with them, they decide to do business with you. But when you don't put in the 5 or 6 more hours, you don't. And you start relying on things like, ooh, the Facebook algorithm's been good for a couple of years. And then you wake up one morning and Zuck screws you. I have no interest in letting any platform, any move, any business dictate my future or my family's future. And the only way I know how to do that, is to fundamentally outwork every single person in here. The work ethic matters. It's the part you don't want to hear. It's no different than the ad you just showed, right? No, there's no system. No, you're not gonna have some amazing Facebook post that's gonna get all these people into your tree, and then you're gonna do the work, and you're gonna be in Jamaica laying there drinking rum chata. No. You know 0 people on earth that have been really successful that haven't put in the work. 0. If they've done it themselves. If mommy and daddy gave them a crap load of money, cool. But anybody who's ever earned it, put in the work. And we live in a world right now, and let's cut to the chase. It's been so great in our country for so long, we're soft. We complain about dumb stuff. Lots of it. We complain, we're not grateful, we think things are going to be handed to us. Let me give you a punchline. You're a minority, you're a female entrepreneur, your parents sucked, you grew up in a bad neighborhood, something really bad happened to you as a kid because the neighbor's a weird dude. The market doesn't care. It's not fun. That's not fun, especially the last scenario. People have bad things that happen to them. Here's the sad part. The market doesn't care. The market doesn't care. What's amazing about the American business market is if you're good enough, you win, no matter what you look like. They will buy. It's what we do. It's been proven over and over and over again. The problem also is, if something's against you, you can't speak English when you first come here, the market equally doesn't care. It will reward you, but it will not feel bad for you. And it will not penalize you, which is unbelievable. We are so lucky. And I just fundamentally believe that 99% of you in this room are not taking full advantage of it. Because I'm gonna leave you with something very weird. Do me a favor. Do me one favor from this talk. Go to a retirement home. I want you to go to a retirement home in the next 6 months and volunteer for 1 day. And I want you to have 10 to 15 conversations. I'm gonna tell you what to look for. It's the scariest word I've ever heard. Regret. If you talk to 90-year-olds in a retirement home, they will talk to you about regret. And what they talk about is the things they didn't do instead of the things they did. My friends, we are all going to die. And we got real lucky. I don't know if you've looked at the math, but the rarity of actually becoming a human being is unbelievable. I mean, you know, your mom could have went to go get another glass of wine. Like, the math for that moment to happen. You could have been a tree. You could have been a rhino. You could have been a rock. You're a human. And wait a minute, punchline, you live in America? Lotto. And you're gonna cry about an algorithm change? Get the hell out of here. Get to work. We're lucky. Get to work.